What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we will be going over the first half of part 18 of the Master Key System by Charles F. Hannell. And as you guys know, we always go over questions and answers in these types of videos, so let's go over what we're going to learn in today's reading. So number one, how is the difference in individual lives measured? What is the law by which the individual may control other forms of intelligence? Where does the creative power originate? How does the universal create form? And what is the connecting link between the individual and the universal? All right, guys. So like I said, as always, towards the end of the video, once I'm finished with the first half of the reading, we will go over the answers to these questions. So without further ado, we're going to get into the introduction of part 18, and then we're going to get straight into part 18. So introduction to part 18. In order to grow, we must obtain what is necessary for our growth. This is brought about through the law of attraction. This principle is the sole means by which the individual is differentiated from the universal. Think for a moment. What would a man be if he were not a husband, father, or brother? If he were not interested in the social, economical, political, or religious world? He would be nothing but an abstract, theoretical ego. He exists, therefore, only in his relation to the whole, in his relation to other men, in his relation to society. This relation constitutes his environment, and in no other way. It is evident, therefore, that the individual is simply the differentiation of the one universal mind, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world, and his so-called individuality or personality consists of nothing but the manner in which he relates with the whole. This we call his environment, and is brought about by the law of attraction. Part 18, which follows, has something more to say concerning this important law. Alright guys, so part 18. There is a change in the thought of the world. This change is silently transpiring in our midst, and is more important than any which the world has undergone since the downfall of paganism. These present revolution in the opinions of all classes of men, the highest and most cultured of men, as well as those of the laboring class, stands unparalleled in the history of the world. Science has of late made such vast discoveries, has revealed such an infinity of resources, has unveiled such enormous possibilities and such unsuspected forces, that scientific men more and more hesitate to affirm certain theories as established and beyond doubt, or to deny other theories as absurd or impossible. A new civilization is being born. Customs, creeds, and precedent are passing. Vision, faith, and service are taking their place. The fetters of tradition are being melted off from humanity, and as the impurities of materialism are being consumed, thought is being liberated, and truth is rising full-robed before an astonished multitude. The whole world is on the eve of a new consciousness, a new power, and a new realization within the self. Physical science has resolved matter into molecules, molecules into atoms, atoms into energy, and it has remained for Mr. J.A. Fleming in an address before the Royal Institution to resolve this energy into mind. He says, in its ultimate essence, energy may be incomprehensible by us except as an exhibition of the direct operation of that which we call mind or will. And this mind is the indwelling and ultimate. It is immanent in matter as in spirit. It is the sustaining, energizing, all-pervading spirit of the universe. Every living thing must be sustained by the omnipotent intelligence, and we find the difference in individual lives to be largely measured by the degree of this intelligence which they manifest. It is greater intelligence that places the animal in a higher scale of being than the plant, the man higher than the animal, and we find that this increased intelligence is again indicated by the power of the individual to control modes of action and thus to consciously adjust himself to his environment. It is this adjustment that occupies the attention of the greatest minds, and this adjustment consists in nothing else than the recognition of an existing order in the universal mind. For it is well known that this mind will obey us precisely in proportion as we first obey it. It is the recognition of natural laws that has enabled us to annihilate time and space, to soar in the air, and to make iron float. And the greater the degree of intelligence, the greater will be our recognition of these natural laws, and the greater will be the power we can possess. It is the recognition of the self as an individualization of this universal intelligence that enables the individual to control those forms of intelligence which have not yet reached this level of self-recognition. They do not know that this universal intelligence permeates all things ready to be called into action. They do not know that it is responsive to every demand, and they are therefore in bondage to the law of their own being. Thought is creative, and the principle on which the law is based is sound and legitimate, and is inherent in the nature of things. But this creative power does not originate in the individual, but in the universal, which is the source and foundation of all energy and substance. The individual is simply the channel for the distribution of this energy. The individual is simply the means by which the universal produces the various combinations which result in the formation of phenomena, which depends upon the law of vibration, whereby various rates of rapidity of motion in the primary substance form new substances only in certain exact numerical ratios. Thought is the invisible link by which the individual comes into communication with the universal, the finite with the infinite, the seen with the unseen. Thought is the magic by which the human is transformed into a being who thinks and knows and feels and acts. As the proper apparatus has enabled the eye to discover worlds without numbers, millions of miles away, so, with the proper understanding, man has been able to communicate with the universal mind, the source of all power. The understanding which is usually developed is about as valuable as a VCR without a videotape. In fact, it is usually nothing more than a belief, which means nothing at all. The savages of the Cannibal Islands believe something, but that proves nothing. All right, guys, so that was the first half of part 18. So let's go ahead and get straight into the answers of the questions. So, number 1, how is the difference in individual lives measured? By the degree of intelligence which they manifest. Number 2, what is the law by which the individual may control other forms of intelligence? A recognition of the self as an individualization of the universal intelligence. Number 3, where does this creative power originate? In the universal. 4, how does the universal create form? By means of the individual. So that means we create through the universal, or the universal creates through us. And number 5, what is the connecting link between the individual and the universal? That is thought. So the connecting link between us and the universal is thought. So we create, the universe creates through us by the means of thought and through the subconscious mind. So, all right, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys got some value out of that. I want to thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and smash that like button to help get this video out to more people. Tap the subscribe button to help us with our current goal on the channel to reach 1,000 subscribers. And if you have any questions, go ahead and email me directly at info@tycoontalk.xyz. Or leave a comment in the comment section below. You can also leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know anything you'd like me to go more in depth about, talk about, make a video on, whatever the case is, let me know and I will get to it. And all of my links are in the description box below to all my socials, online store, everything in between. Go ahead and check those out. And if you like this video, check out the other videos on my channel where I talk about making money with cryptocurrency, fixing your credit, consciousness, financial markets, and much, much more. A whole bunch of cool information. If you enjoyed this, I am positive you will enjoy all the other videos. So go ahead over to the playlist section and everything will be organized over there for you guys. So as always, I want to thank you once again and send infinite abundance to you now and forever, my friends. I will see you again in the video tomorrow. Peace.